Question 19, we're asked to work out 3/4 of 1000. And I like to write this as 3/4. The off becomes a times, and that is 1000. Now this is one way of doing it, where you take this number, divide it by the bottom, multiply it by the top. So let me say that again. You take the number, divide it by the bottom, multiply it by the top. So we'll try that here. So we need to do 1000 divided by 4. So 1000 divided by 4. I like to write this as 1000 divided by 4. Now I can use the bus shelter, so it's raining oranges. I need to build a bus shelter for the 1000, so I'll do that here. And the 1000 has to go inside so it can stay dry. 1, 0, 0, 0. And then the 4 has to go outside. Now everything is in its place and we can start. How many 4s can I get from this 1? None. So I'll put a 0 here. Now that's like a remainder, so I have to carry it over to the next column. There. Now this 0, because of that 1, you can read it as 10, so it's become 10. So how many 4s are there in 10? So if I did my 4 times table, 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. So if I look 4, 8, 12, 12 is too much. So 4, 8, so that's 2 lots of 4. Remainder, I've used up 8 and I had 10. So if I count up from 8 to 10, I've got 2. So I'll put 8 in my head and then I do 9, 10. So that's 2. So I carry the 2 over to the next column. That's the remainder. Now how many 4s are there in 20? So I do 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So it's important to know your times tables. It makes it much, much easier. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many 4s are there in 20? 5. And how many 4s are there in 0? 0. Now we've finished. So this here is our number. Now what did we say about leading zeros? We can cross them out. So our answer is 250. So our first step is to divide by 4 and our answer is 250. So let me write that down, 250. Now we said take the number, divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. So now what we have to do is multiply it by the top number, which is 3. So 250 times 3. I'll do that here as a column multiplication. So let me write it here in this corner. 250 multiplied by 3. Now what we need to do is multiply the 3 with every digit above. So our first step is 3 times 0. And be careful, 3 times 0 is not 3, but 3 times 0 is 0. Then we move on, 3 times 5. And if you know your 5 times table, that'll be 15. So we put 5 here and we carry the 1 over to the next column. Now finally we have 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus this 1 we've carried over, which makes it 7. So our answer is 750. So 3/4 of 1000 is 750. let me just write this down. Our first column is the ones column or the units column. Then you have the tens column, and then you have the hundreds column. So remember, this method was divide by the bottom and multiply by the top. So you'll hear some children say that, divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. Now I'm going to show you another method which I've got used to, and it's just as good. So whichever method you want to use, that's up to you. So let me just rub this out. So as before, we're going to turn this into calculation. So it's going to be 3/4. The of becomes a times, and we put 1000 here. Now that's our calculation. Now what I like to do is divide this number by 1, because I've now got two fractions. And what do we know about multiplying two fractions? You multiply straight across. The top number by the top number and the bottom number by the bottom number. The numerator by the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll put the fraction line there. 3 times 1000 is going to be 3000. And 4 times 1 is 4. Now I'm going to use the bus shelter method to work this out. So it's raining. 3000 is getting wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bus shelter here. Let me do it here. So this 3000, because it's getting wet, it has to go inside. So 3000. And then the 4 has to go outside. Now, how many 4s are there in 3? I've not got enough. So this 3 is like a remainder, has to get carried over to the next column. Now this 0 becomes 30. So this here now is 30. How many 4s are there in 30? As before, if you know your times tables, it's much easier. So let's do the 4 times table. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, and so on. Now we only want to go to 30. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's it. 32's too big. So we've got 7 4s. So how many 4s are there in 30? 7. Now what's the remainder? We've used 28 and we had 30. So we need to count up. So 28 in my head and on my fingers, 29, 30, 2. So we carry the 2 over. So this 0 becomes 20 now. So how many 4s are there in 20? Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 there. There's no remainder because we've used all 20. Now our next question is, how many 4s are there in 0? 0. And we stop there because we finished. Now again, as before, that's our number, 0750. But we said the leading zeros we can ignore. We're not interested in that. So our answer really is 750, as before, 750. Now I want you to think about an easy way of dividing by 4. Do you remember your teacher telling you halve it and halve it again? What they want you to do is divide 3000 by 2 and then divide it by 2 again. I'm going to leave that with you.